Thomas the Tank Engine is getting some new pals. The manufacturer Mattel has announced 14 new international locomotives will be joining Thomas, Percy and the Fat Controller, including trains from China, Mexico and India. The new characters will be introduced in the movie The Great Race, set to arrive in UK cinemas this May. Ryan Hagan is the administrator of the Sodor Island Forums, a Thomas the Tank fan website, and he joins us now. Good afternoon, Ryan.
Good afternoon, Laura.
Thank you for coming in. So tell us, first of all, about some of these new characters.
The new characters have basically been brought in to represent the Olympic Games, which are due to take place in Rio de Janeiro later this year. So this is Thomas's kind of take on the Olympics.
International Thomas.
Yeah, international Thomas, basically.
So what do you think of them? Tell us about some of them.
I think it's an absolutely fantastic idea, just because Thomas is a huge brand now. It's massive across the globe, and it's fantastic that kids in each territory like Mexico, China, they've already got a Japanese representative in Hero who was brought over in 2009, and umpteen American characters. It's great that these kids who are just becoming introduced to Thomas as Mattel are rolling out in new territories are being given the opportunity to have their own engine represented over their country. It's just a fantastic thing for
and personalities to match as
well.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hardworking, and they've all got their different things.
Yep.
So it's also linked to the movie as well. But first of all, tell me how you got into Thomas the Tank, because it's changed a lot over the years. I'm speaking as the mother of a son, so I've lived through a few years of Thomas the Tank Engine myself. But this always taking on new characters, it's important, isn't it, to keep it going and keep it fresh?
It's important to keep it fresh. I mean, I was introduced to Thomas through my grandmother, who bought me a little ride-along Thomas when I was for my first birthday. And since then, we've had the books, we've had the videos, we've had the toys, we've had everything to do with Thomas. I've been all over the country with Thomas. And in 2013, I actually managed to acquire, along with a group of my friends, the models for Thomas's sister series, Tugs. So we're touring them up and down the country as well. So it's just something that's never really been out of my life, and ultimately has become something that is a huge part. It's become like a huge peripheral part of my life. And
they took on more female engines, didn't they? So it's perhaps a natural progression to now add this sort of international element.
Yeah, I mean, it's always important to reach out more to the audience and try to bring in a new audience with characters who will appeal to a wider scope than what you've currently got. Just train enthusiasts and kids who love trains.
So you still love it, obviously. You've not given up your love of Thomas.
I absolutely adore it.
And these characters will be introduced in this film this summer. What more can you tell us about the film?
The film is going to be based around Thomas wanting to go to this great railway show on the mainland, and his various attempts to try and get there. He's going to try and prove that he's strong enough to compete, and he's strong enough to compete. He's going to try and show that he's fast enough to compete, and he's going to show that he's better than any other engine at doing the things he's able to do.
How will he get off the island of Sodor?
Oh, you need to wait and see that one.
To get to the mainland.
You need to wait and see.
And visually, have you seen pictures of these engines? The Indian one, for example, is really colourful, isn't she?
Ashima, yeah, she's going to be the lead character in the film. I've seen a few pictures of the new characters, and they look absolutely fantastic. Really quite eye-catching, and I think kids are going to absolutely adore them.
Well, the parents will have to get the purse out to buy those. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
Ryan Hagan there of the Thomas the Tank Engine Sodor Island Forums.